really curious, like, where this Weaver is going if Infinity is so confident that this is not a safe lane Weaver. But we'll find out. The Bloodseeker ban is quite nice. They could opt to go for the Pangolier as well. But I think that's mostly just to secure their Weaver's game here.
Yeah. A lot of time people immediately counter pick with that one. It usually just run in position 1 and 3 of the Bloodseeker. They already have a Tidehunter, so they'd be having to play it as Gary, but against the Weaver, it is a solid pickup.
Radiant's turn to pick.
And there's the Dark Willow.
Yeah, they do end up grabbing that. It went through a lot more reserve time than I thought, but it's one of the first things that came to mind when you see the Lamar playing ban out. But it's a little bit surprising for them to ban out a carry so you can pick up a support hero. But I guess Sexy Yogi, big fan of that hero. Saw him have a pretty solid performance on it as well.
5 seconds remain.
Let's see what this next pick up here is on. Okay, that's not what I was expecting.
Dire must choose.
Okay, these are good picks.
Alongside it.
All right, they needed control. They were kind of lacking a little bit here from the Earth Spirit Weaver picks. And now you've got Ogre Magi in the safe lane. Good frontline hero. And it's starting to look a lot more like a safe lane Weaver here, Neff. I don't know. This is really strange.
10 seconds remain.
Starting to look a lot like a safe lane Weaver.
I know it looks like a safe lane Weaver, and Weaver is a lot better at a safe lane than he is offlane. But explain those 3 bans to me.
I literally can't.
Waste their entire ban, or entire second ban phase here.
They have banned 5 carry heroes from Lumiere, and there's a Weaver already picked, and I'm very confused. The Leshrac here, pretty decent from the mid lane. They banned the Luna. Okay. I mean, Infinity definitely need a safe lane hero of their own, some form of a carry. You've seen a lot of Void Spirit today.
We haven't seen so much Clanks. Some of the I think a lot of the North American teams seem to value that one just as much. I know Sammy Boy like playing that one with Forward Zoomers. They're done with their team. They're done with their group stage games now. So we're not seeing it picked up at all. I did get it hit with a number, and there's the biggest one being the ultimate, right? The 100% death pack health steal from neutral creeps, or from creeps to 80%. So he's a lot less tanky than he was before. I still think he's a solid hero, but they might not have enough lockdown to make it work here on Infinity. You do need to hold them in place while getting hit by
Burning
Barrage.
Yeah.
But if the Luna's banned out, then they're probably a little bit worried about them playing super fast on Infinity. I don't know, maybe get rid of the Juggernaut or something. It'd be decent at staying on top of the Weaver and the Leshrac, able to do a decent chunk of damage to these heroes. I don't know, you're gonna get out of a lot of the magic damage they have. I feel like a heal with Dispel is pretty important on Infamous. I think Juggernaut would be a solid pickup here. I don't know. I've been out Spectre though instead. I guess they're just worried about getting on top of the Leshrac. You just pick up a Blade Mail on that hero, you get Negative Scepter. You just blow up in every single team fight.
So Infinity has last pick here. So they're going to find out if all of these bans were wasted and this is a safe lane Weaver. Or if they predicted the hell out of this. They even banned the Lina in the TA. And they grab a Tiny. Okay.
With the last pick. So they can flex this around a couple of places. I mean, we even see Leshrac run in position 1 once in a while, but it's probably going to be alone on the Tiny and be Leshrac in position 3. Weaver position 1. That's the most likely thing I see happening here. It's probably going to be mid Tiny, right? Right?
It could be the off lane Weaver still. Safe lane Tiny and the mid lane Leshrac. I mean, they have a lot of different ways of playing this. And I think that's one of the strengths of the Infamous draft right now is you can basically just pick your good lanes. Infinity here. Again, they need this safe lane hero. They go for the Sven. I actually don't like Sven into this at all.
What about it don't you like? I feel like a lot of these people have to stand right next to him in order to deal damage. Weaver's range isn't particularly long. Lumiere needs to get on top of people, hit them with the Diabolic Edict and the Pulse Nova. I don't mind it.
So Tiny's actually pretty good against Sven, to be honest. And I just don't like. There's nothing here to like amp the Sven. Like they don't. He doesn't have the Ogre Bloodlust. He doesn't have the IO. And Sven just feels a lot weaker in those games when he doesn't have something to kind of like amplify his farm rate and his game a little bit. So I'm going with Infamous here. I think this offlane Weaver is going to be pretty sick for Sacred.
All right. We'll see about that. I, for one, am hyped to see Alone on the Tiny. Normally, as a pretty sick performance. Lumiere, I kind of miss position 1 Leshrac as well. I do like it a little bit more mid because you have a lot more map presence, but we saw what ended up happening last time with Leshrac in the mid lane. Just no way to build armor and ended up taking a lot of physical damage. I think you still have that problem this game with Void Spirit getting on top of you, Sven blowing up on top of the Gush minus armor. I don't know. I should probably not try to lose my predictions against you anymore, or you're gonna hold it over my head forever. I'm gonna go with Infamous.
All right.
We're both Infamous here.
Yeah. Neff. I see your strategy here. Just do what I predict. That way, we're either both right or both wrong.
No. Don't tell me that's what I'm trying to do. It is the coward's way out.
Neff.
I would never.
I hate to break it to you, but it sounds like that's what you did here.
I am not getting baited into predicting a team I think is going to lose. We'll see, though. Infinity could just pop off this game. Again, they've got a lot to prove after last time. Again, we still don't really have a fix for being able to press the buttons. Hopefully, it'll be fixed by tomorrow before we start. We'll see, though. I'm going to take a moment to look at everybody's starting items. Looks like they're going for nothing too interesting. I guess the most interesting... Actually, everything is just pretty standard. They're going for Sage's Mask on the Earth Spirit for some reason. I guess he's looking to Russian. He's looking to Russian in this game. All right. These starting items aren't hanging off. Hoping to see someone with like Boots of Speed first item and just like running at the enemy team like a psychopath, but we're not going to get that. We smoked up at the start on the Radiant squad, though, so they're probably looking to try to find first blood if the Spirit is going for the urn. Probably going to be playing pretty aggressive. Not that the hero really does anything other than play aggressive. I kind of missing more of this hero. It's fallen off a little bit more ever since they nerfed the roll by like 50 range, which is 100 with the rock. He's not good at catching people at the start of the game. Only 750 distance. Before, you'd see the people pick him up all the time, do quick rotation in the mid lane, quickly find themselves a kill, and go on to back to the lane or stacking a couple camps on the way back. Now, the hero's just dead, man. I miss him. Earth Spirit plays are so sick to watch as well, but I guess like from a TI perspective, it's kind of hard to follow what's going on, especially as like a viewer, when the Spirit's just like popping up and doing crazy things.
That is true.
Yeah. But someone could be like Silence from the other side of the fight with like a geomatic grip as long as it magnetized, which is also probably confusing to a lot of people.
I don't know what we're still paused for. No one has said anything and everyone's in the game.
Mm-hmm. It'll only take a moment for Nina to get...
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, everyone is still here. And we have no notification inside the BTS channel. Our admin will probably get angry in a moment, though. Oh, I just want to see action, man. That shark only started with one mango. Doesn't have a ton of HP regen. He went for a lot of stat items, though, so I guess he's just looking to find last hits clicking. It's probably a little bit easier to contest farm from the enemy offlaner. Less shark safe lane. If you just go with stats, you don't need to spam but your abilities. You're not in the 1v1 matchup. I feel like a lot is going to be on the ogre match to try to zone the enemies out and pull creeps and whatnot. We see that a lot more. Just people fighting over the creep camp with sentry wards. Position 5 usually start with 2 sentries, and it just becomes this position 4 and 5 don't really sit inside the lane for like the first 2 minutes of the game. Is kind of a war with the 2 creep camps and who's blocking what, which in my opinion is pretty boring Dota. We're good to go though.
The true heroes are the ones who wait.
Glad to hear it. I was getting a little tired of looking at couriers, but looks like we're back
And
in the
listening
game.
to me. You getting tired of listening to me, Ricky?
Hmm?
You getting tired of listening to me?
No, I would never.
I see. Thanks, buddy. We're spending a lot of time together the next couple of days.
This
Oh, yeah.
pleases me to no end.
I don't like how you yawn when you said that.
I don't know what you're
That
talking
is
about.
very hurtful. Take that yawn back this instant.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was not a yawn.
Whatever.
I choked on the air as soon as I did that. Alone mid lane was not really paying close attention there. Just gonna take a lot of harassment there from side of Infinity.
I'm surprised Tao didn't put a point to Aether Remnant there and try to pull Alone back into the Bramble.
I was thinking the same thing, right? But
Yeah.
it might grief his game if he does.
A lot of people go Aether Remnant level 1.
I think it's almost always Resonant Pulse nowadays. It's like a 10 damage difference and it clears the wave or pushes the wave.
I swear people go Aether Remnant. I'm not crazy.
Burna. Last 2 games did manage to get first blood on his hero and see if he managed to do something again this time. Doesn't look like. Well, they are going to try and contest the rune here. Michael's going to grab it. 3 going the way of Infamous to start it off. Wait, where's the 4th? Oh, they got all 4. Oh, jeez. Sheesh.
Yikes. Maybe you should have put that point to the Aether Remnant. In the very least, the time would have taken too much damage to be able to contest the rune. He is going Resident Pulse, though. But this lane should favor the Tiny, especially the start. He ends up tossing his tree pretty early to secure himself the last on the range creep, though. But he gets so much more base damage. Than... All right, never mind. He's getting played. Let's look elsewhere.
Meanwhile,
Exactly. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Sacred's actually getting zoned back by Sexy Yogi.
Dark Willow is pretty strong. Like her base attack time is incredibly low. Nice boulder roll out and tanks the stun into the Bramble, but he gets out with the Sakuchi. First blood goes the way of Sacred this time. So we'll clean up the courier on Burna, but overall, I think you're pretty happy. If you're Sacred here, they also are gonna get the Sentry D ward here, so that's pretty big. And Sexy Yogi does have 1 more Sentry with him at the moment, but he has to literally choose between the lane or his small camp.
He'll choose the small camp. That's an easy choice.
I don't know. He might choose the lane.
Either way, he's got to get control over the lane before he's able to drop this Sentry. So we won't see that for a moment.
We haven't really talked about the bottom lane here. It's Lumiere on this list. Oh, come on.
You're owned. But he
I've
wasn't
been
even level
owned.
2 for that one. Just Stormhammer onto the Earth Spirit. He committed a little bit too far forward and he ended up dying. The mid lane, Tao almost ended up going down earlier as well. Toss came out, or Avalanche rather came on to him, took a couple too many auto attacks.
Does tree toss do more damage when you toss the tree? I feel like it does. Yeah, throw splash is 200%. It does. Okay.
Look out for fallen rocks.
Well, Ogre Magi almost went down the bottom lane. Also, the fact that it comes out faster that way, you're going to wind up your slow, tiny arm. Pretty big deal.
You say that now, but wait until he gets his big arm, dude.
Really
Armathy's
big arm
coming
and
for you, dude.
Big Arma. It's late.
Neff's delusional. We've been here a long time, and we've got 2 games still, Neff.
Big Arma. They lose the courier under his spirit. Unfortunate. He salves up afterwards.
That's his second death on his courier.
Yeah. A nice stimmy for the Dire team. You should just roll in on Burna here.
He's thinking about it. That's exactly what he's gonna do, but ends up connecting with Sexy Yogi instead. Michael
Yeah.
unable to
If Sacred
connect.
was able to run forward there, Michael committed a little bit earlier. Burna would be dead. I don't think Sacred would have taken nearly as much damage there either. So, bit of a misfire. He's got to be careful.
Yeah.
All right. Ernest down. Done on the Weaver. Even though Michael was going
Sakuchi
for one.
on forward. They will be able to take down that Dark Willow, but Curse Crown's not going to be enough to set up the kill here for the Sven. He's out of mana. And that is your first set of wand charges, or wand earn charges is what I meant.
Hey, so Michael had an urn on quick buy, but Sacred built one.
Yes.
Michael also started with 2 components.
Yes, but now you can just go for a Bassi instead.
What's the circlet for then?
Circlet's value, dude.
I feel like they should have a little bit better communication at the lane together. What can you do?
Who knows? Mid lane alone. Oh, he tree tossed to kill the courier under the tower. Oh, that feels so bad for Tao. He needs those raindrops too, so that is gonna actually create an opening for Alone here in this mid lane. They did manage to find a kill onto the Ogre bottom, it would seem, but
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
Enchantress ended up running him down with the Harpy Stormcrafter. We've seen this one before.
Mid lane, roll in from Michael. Boulder kick, has a toss back, but he is out of mana here on Alone, but he gets the mango from his ally. It's not enough for the Avalanche, however, and as a result, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, and he's gonna tip him too. Nice rotation there. Real far rolling boulder you got there.
Oh, real.
Alone's gonna be forced to get out of the lane for the moment as well.
A lot of damage potentially coming out bottom here once again onto this Ogre. He's just getting slapped by Pamplona. But
Earth Spirit
rotation in from the Earth Spirit. Nice stomp. Does have that Fire Blast still as they're trying to take down the Enchantress. Split Earth to follow. It's going to go the way of Lumiere here on the Leshrac as they will also clean up... What? It'll also clean up the Centaur. Okay.
Put Sacred by himself up in the top lane and try to throw the Brambles onto him. He's got Curse Crown as well, but Burna doesn't have enough mana to throw a Stormbolt.
Sacred's playing this Weaver really well. But Burna is level 5. Like, he's having a great time here on this Sven. 34 and 12. I mean, net worth wise, he's at the very top. Weaver definitely struggling as far as the cores go. I'm really curious what this like off lane Weaver is going to be building. Like, does he finish the Spirit Vessel? He's got it queued up. Like,
I guess so.
imagine if he doesn't, this hero is just going to feel like borderline useless. So we're going Spirit Vessel and then maybe an Ags. Who knows?
I mean, it kind of messed with what the Earth Spirit wanted to do, but he's gonna go into Veil of Discord instead. I don't know.
What have we here?
I guess he's got a very specific way of playing his position 3 Weaver, and position 4's got to make way. Mid lane. Gonna go into 6 Yogi on the Dark Willow here. Tiny ends up getting stunned up into the tower, but he's way too tanky for them to go on.
Benjaz also quite tanky, running at the Ogre Magi, just being a nuisance. Dude, he has a stick and 2 mangoes on the Ogre. That feels... Boy, that feels bad. Tao rotating to the bottom lane, catch them with the Astral Step, but a nice Ignite right onto the money, though. Shrek, can they actually burst him down? He's got the Split Earth, not level 6, though, so not a lot of damage coming out. It's just going to be a successful dive onto that Leshrac.
And I'm losing Sexy Yogi again. Dies the mid lane. Alone is getting very close to this Blink Dagger. He's got 1,600 gold right now. If he ends up getting that like the next 3 minutes here, this Enchantress and Dark Willow just become food for the Tiny for like, I don't know, the next like 5-10. Arcane Ring makes his farming even easy, and he picks up that bounty man. He ends up finding the power rune here at 8 minutes. They're
going to try and punish Lumiere. He TP'd back into the bottom lane, and Tao did not leave. A 4-man rotation to the bottom lane. This time finds a kill, and Excel will TP home, but Lumiere on the Leshrac is going to be really struggling after that one.
They're going to take advantage of the space that one made, everyone being in the bottom lane, clean up these camps that they stacked here on the Dire side, though. And I'll get him close to his Blink Dagger. Just 200 gold off now.
Dyer's top tower.
I have this at like 9-10 minutes.
Radiant's
It's about the speed we
chunk-
saw it last game, too.
Yeah, Sacred doing what he can up in the top lane as well, trying to shove the tower in response to the push coming out in the bottom lane. I'm pretty sure Mike will just get on the tower as well and hit it. Doesn't need to sit behind the trees here.
And his bottom tower is super dead. They have plenty of creeps here, plus the Enchantress minions. So first tower is going to go the way of Infinity. Really well done by them. Blink Dagger now coming out on alone, as you said, and going to get delivered right around that 9-minute mark.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger. Dire's top tower is under attack.
My path leads to riches.
Dire's top tower.
Bendiaz trying to hold his ground here in the mid lane. He's got Ravage available, but he's got no way of getting on top of these enemy heroes. So unless they commit onto him, I'm not crazy
They're
about
going to try. Lone falling quite low. Ravage gonna get thrown finally. And it will find the kill there onto this Tiny. Jumps Michael on the backside, but he doesn't actually have Magnetize yet.
Again, I feel like it's the last tier you want to initiate on. He's got 2 points of Kraken Shell. He's got a Hood of Defiance as well. The moment you group up onto him and just counter shits with a Ravage is exactly what he wanted. That you're trying to bait that one.
Town in the mid lane. Pretty okay here. He's still got Astral Steps available, running low on mana. Michael gonna find Pamplona and send him right back into the river. Looks like it might be a kill going their way. It needs to be the Weaver that finds it. Pig mode not getting you out this time alone.
Top lane.
Blink reveal there, gonna help find that kill onto that Dark Willow. And Lumiere chasing down Benjaz. This is a huge kill. He gets it. Lumiere's game is back. He's suddenly level 7.
I mean, he leveled up from 6 onto that one, but he needs a couple points of Diabolic E to be able to threaten towers while things happen elsewhere on the map. Tidehunter kind of gave that one away. I guess he figured there's no way Leshrac is going to be that deep in their jungle there. And then they TP a bunch of people in the mid lane though and look to get either the tower, a couple kills in return.
Oh boy, another avalanche toss in the mid lane, and Pamplona goes down. This is where you gotta be scared of this Tiny. He's gonna be doing so much work here. Walks right in, does find Sexy Yogi and Tao. Michael, considering going in, but not gonna connect onto anyone. I mean, this Willow and Enchantress are just food for this Tiny. This is such a good Tiny game.
Yeah, especially if given the fact that he got such an early Blink Dagger. He's got
Avalanche toss with the Spirit Vessel. They found the Void Spirit, and a silence out from Michael connects onto the Dark Willow, and that Magnetize gonna start taking around. Find a kill there. Sacred now turning his attention on over to Tidehunter as well. No Ravage for about 30 seconds. Quite tanky though. Alone. Avalanche toss throws him back. Doesn't actually connect on the split earth, but they get kill. In comes Burna, but he doesn't have the God Strike. It's on cooldown for about 5 more seconds.
Yeah, and
They just get the tower.
If he stuck around for another 5 seconds, a rolling boulder would have been off of cooldown. Would just got stunned up, locked by Michael, who has got 3 points into it.
Sacred,
they lost
he is
a
going the
lot.
Ags, by the way. That's what I was wondering, and he's queued that bad boy up.
Is under attack.
I mean, this allows the Tiny Leshrac to play so aggressive. They can essentially just run at the towers, Diabolic take them down, and then you got to get out of jail free card.
We saw earlier in the turn in today's series, like the answer they had to a Sven was a Wind Waker, right? To try and reset the fight, and honestly, the Weaver Axe kind of does the same thing. Mid lane Excel gonna tank the gank here as 4 heroes collapse around him. And now looking their attention to take this tower alone. Woo-hoo. Debating on going in, but has to think twice about that one. Spirit Vessel out onto Burna as Tiny keeps hitting Bramble Maze after Bramble Maze.
You thought you had me, didn't you?
Sacred has a ton of Spirit Vessel charges after that fight in the mid lane. Thinking to turn around. Nice silence in from Michael, but Benjaz, he finally connects onto the Ravage. Looking to find Burna on the backside. There's going to be the Magnetize sticking around. There's going to be the Spirit Vessel, the bugs. Will he get the kill? He does. Goes down on the Sven. Now Tao and Benjaz on the run. Sacred doing so much work here with this Weaver. Trying to TP out here on the Void Spirit. Split Earth just off the mark.
Oh no, we thought he caught him at the very edge of it. He had time to walk forward just a moment as well. That dance ends up getting away too. That's a yikes. I mean, fight still ends up going their way. They managed to take down the Sven there, who is sitting at the top of the net worth chart in 6.4K, but not being able to pick off that Void Spirit on the way out is definitely a loss they didn't necessarily have to have. Lumire's going in for Sexy Yogi the top lane.
Yeah, it's a dead Willow. One of the things that is really frustrating when you pick a Dark Willow like this, they didn't like pick it into a position where you saw like 2 of the final cores, and they get the Tiny and Leshrac, 2 heroes that do so much AoE damage that it is impossible to play the Dark Willow into them. You just get comboed every time they find you. You have to be very defensive with your positioning.
Yeah. Speaking of positioning and whatnot, Void Spirit's going to be careless with his going forward in this game. He's got a Blade Mail queued up. I think against the heroes he's playing against here, like Leshrac, Weaver, Tiny, Mage Slayer, be the first thing that comes to mind.
It would have been a pretty good Mage Slayer game. I think Blade Mail is not bad though either. It's still very good for like the. I remember when this used to be like exclusively an int hero item for some reason, but Smoke up on Infamous, getting ready to go in, roll through. They do manage to find Enchantress. They're just gonna kick her right on over to the team. Fire Blast comes through alone, wanted to take down Benjaz, but doesn't end up getting the kill, and Lumire not there in time to hit the split Earth, so they only get the Enchantress.
Not a great find. And Pamplona going, they don't care too much about that as long as Sven's still farming up. But again, going for that Blade Mail on the Void Spirit.
Ooh, alone in the top lane. He's got a DD rune. He TP'd up here right away.
I don't think he's going to be able to catch this Sven out, though. He's going to have to walk through this Observer Ward. It's going to give him away.
He's going to find the obs at least, so that's going to be a quick D ward.
Yep. Michael doesn't want to try to chase anyone. He's got 3 stones at the moment, so take a moment to save a few up.
All right, Veil. Gonna be the item here for Michael. Sacred, how close are we? I mean, he's only 1,200 gold away from this Ags. He's gonna be having this at a decent time here. For an offlane Weaver to have Spirit Vessel Ags, I guess, considering you don't need boots or anything, it's pretty sick.
Yeah. No, 1,000 net worth away. Does he have Blade Mail yet on? No, he ended up queuing up a Sanj. Oh, Tao's game is like over, man. This is very rough to be a Void Spirit. If he actually commits and goes for the Sanj, it's not going to give you enough status just by itself, and they're going to force fights into you next couple of minutes here. I don't think he can go for the Sanj. I really hope he can use up a Mage Slayer or even the Blade Mail instead. Like staying on top of the Leshrac, I feel like is the biggest way you can contribute to these team fights. And speaking of, Leshrac ends up finishing up his Kaya Sanj, so it'll be difficult to keep him locked down.
Dude, he is so farmed here on Leshrac, despite having what was such an abysmal start to this game. And top lane, that Edict is going to start working on this tower without fortification. That's a tier 2 going the way of Infamous, and Outpost soon to follow.
Yeah. Michael makes a beeline for them right away. Mid tower is still standing as well, so I imagine they're just going to TP here and fight into these Infinity Heroes. You have to be a little bit careful going on to the Tide Hunter again, though. He's now working on a Bite Dagger, but...
Yeah, I think they just clear mid, right? Yeah, Sacred's gonna cut mid lane, finish up this Aghanim Scepter, and there's no chance they threaten tier 2 bottom. I don't think. Like, they could just TP in, and it's really scary.
He's not gonna happen. Burner trying to finish up. They're gonna TP in. I thought they were gonna lose Benjaz here. I'm not sure. They're tiny pretty far away. I'm not gonna be able to go on him with just these supports. This is going to give Burner time to finish up his BKB. He's only 600 gold off right now. He ended up keeping his Echo Saber, not didn't disassemble it rather.
Oh, real.
I think that's fine. He needs the farming speed right now instead of the BKB. They're not trying to fight into the side of Infamous, right? So having the Echo Saber to still farm a little bit faster is the way to go. But Aghanim Scepter is done here on the Weaver. It's on the courier being delivered. Sexy Yogi's gonna go and grab that Arcane Rune. Earth Spirit here to silence him up. Magnetize comes out. Avalanche toss in. Benjaz falling incredibly low and doesn't want to commit the Ravage, obviously, as there is no follow-up, but they get 2 big kills, and this could mean Roshan. Looks like that's exactly where they're headed.
Yeah, they're just gonna run over it. Again, Sven's still trying to farm up the BKB before he feels he can fight into this team here. Void Spirit. I mean, Tao was 2-1 in 4, but again, okay, he went back. He's going for the interceptor now. I feel like this one isn't as bad. You can at least get on top of this Weaver and deal with him. If you have no silence to deal with this guy and you've got an Egg and Scepter, I think Leshrac just has a free game. I can't believe we're seeing a pig chase down. You weren't watching that.
Wait, what?
The Void Spirit pig pulled away, and the Ogre Magi pig pulled to chase after him.
Hell yeah.
We saw a pig.
Someone cue the music.
I'm not American, so I imagine that's how like county fairs go, something like that.
Yeah, kind of.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
I'm more of an indoors, play video games kind of guy, instead of a go to a farm, play with pigs. I don't know.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, they're just getting a free tier 2 in the mid lane. They're having a tough time trying to decide to contest here on the side of Infinity.
Dire's middle tower is under
They don't even bother dropping the fortification.
They can't fort, right? If they fort, they can go high ground.
is no more.
So instead, they're gonna head bottom. Meanwhile, Sexy Yogi found in the jungle. Ogre trying to keep his courier alive. Okay, he's just breaking Michael's ankles over and over. He'll find him eventually. Link forward, avalanche toss, and there it is. Gonna go the way of Alone. Getting that blink off just before. What is do you see that graphic glitch that was on the Tiny right there?
No, I looked away.
Okay, don't worry about it. It was
Thought
terrifying.
you had me, didn't you?
Roger.
Oh, real.
So, Bird was a little bit further away from the BKB than I thought. I thought he bought the recipe, but he hadn't. He's now 200 gold away from it. At that point, he's going to be able to fight in these heroes, but the Egg and Scepter is done on the Weaver. Leshrac has an Aegis for another 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Like, here's what's going to happen. This guy's just going to pop Diabolic Edict and walk to the tower, and the moment you jump him, he's getting time-lapsed back.
He has a Bloodstone nearly done as well. So
And this only has a 20-second cooldown. He can just do it again and again.
Dire's bottom tower
yeah, they are playing very well here on the side of Infamous.
Right, yeah, Bloodstone now completed. Well, you're a little bit worried about the range limitations here on the time lapse. If yeah, he does have the Egg and Scepter complete on the Void Spirit, so if he jumps in between the Leshrac and the Weaver, he's able to get the silence off into both of them, potentially just kill them both.
top tower is under
He's got a Blink Dagger queued up. I wasn't sure if he's gonna go the Aether Lens or the Blink Dagger, but it looks like he wants to go the Blink.
top tower has
Alone, gets scouted out by Ward. By himself here behind the tower, and in comes Sacred. Yoink! Back into the fight he goes. Then they commit the Ravage as well. They want to make sure to bring down this Tiny, tossing back. This Sven Alone will finally go down.
They don't commit him. Lumiere just too far away. He's only
They
sitting at
might
half HP as well.
reinitiate. Michael, he's ready to go like he wants to drop this Magnetize, and Lumiere is there to go, and there it is on top of two heroes. Tao in some trouble, but able to get the bug off of him. Benjaz not as lucky, can't get rid of that pest, and now Tao continuing to run away, but Michael really wants to find this kill, gets the silence, and in come the bugs once again. Makes it up onto the high ground, but
One more roll, Michael. Don't give up now.
never give up. He just dies to the bugs.
Yeah.
And now Berna, he TP'd in to try and help. He's going to regret this one as they just connect, take down another. Fortification here, trying to clear up these heroes as the Flak was doing some work. But Lumiere, again, he's still got this Aegis. And Michael, he's got one Remnant left. He's going to use it to get out of that base.
He was going
no. Still under ward vision.
Pamplona. I think Lumiere's going to go for this, I think. Pamplona?
Sacred gets caught by a Terrorize. This is a big find onto the Weaver. He does have time lapse though. He's just going to use it. Now Lumiere rotating on over as well. Pops the Bloodstone, and Edict's all he needs. Alone, Avalanche trying to toss back Benjaz. He's got him. Oh my goodness, the damage from this Tiny. That's a DD rune. I love how you just can't see DD on Tiny.
You kind of can if you know,
you
are
look
at the
at
right
his feet.
angle. Yeah. So you predict his movements, you watch his feet.
This isn't football. Actually, wait, no, it's the opposite. Always watch the ball, not the feet.
Yeah.
Nether Shawl found there for Leshrac. Smoke up here from Infinity. I mean, they're going to run top right away, I guess, but you're only going to find an Earth Spirit potentially.
Yeah. He doesn't care.
Tao's got to get something here. Oh, I think that smoke popped. He saw him. He jumps in. Doesn't get the silence off in time. And Michael. Oh my goodness. There's no way, right? All right. Good block there from the Void Spirit. They will take down Michael.
They're running at him, though.
Almost the great escape. Sacred now going to find Sexy Yogi. Actually misses with the bugs. First crown coming out. And wait a minute. They cancel. They want to turn around onto Sacred, and they do. Just goodbye. Burna there to clean him up. The rest of the team just was not on the same page, and now Excel's gonna be the one that dies. Force tap up onto the high ground, caught by the Remnant, pulled back down. Triple kill for the Sven.
All right, they turned that one around.
Lumiere just was nowhere near this fight.
No. He does not move very fast despite being a late game Leshrac. Usually you see boots of speed or, well, like boots of speed, Yule Scepter, movement speed, talent. But this one, he's got none of those things. The lightning storm damage instead.
He's going for the bots though, which will help.
This is his next item, but ends up being a decent fight for them. They get 5k XP there and about 2,500 gold swing for that fight as well. Lost 500 on Infamous.
Oh my goodness, he caught him with the silence. Well done by Talon. 2 astral steps away. He's gone.
Yep. And this is why the egg step was a pretty big deal. If he ended up going for the the Sanj instead, like he had queued up earlier, I think this game would have been over. I'm not sure if he was actually going to go for that or he's like, hey, I'll get Sanj and Kaya maybe. Which wouldn't have been as bad, but given the nerf to Sanj, less status reasons, it gives you now only like 12% if you have just one component. Then feels pretty bad.
Sexy Yogi sitting here maybe trying to block a smoke or something, but... Oh, they found you. Didn't end up quite working out for him the way he thought it would. On the top of the fight here, they managed to find the Sven. He's got a BKB available. They really do want to force this. In comes Alone, and there it is. The BKB out on the Sven. The rolling boulder is going to keep connecting as Burna has to throw that stun out. Sacred wants to continue the chase, but a blink up. Burna is going to be out.
Yeah. No BKB available now, but at the very least, he's still got God Strength, so you can turn on people with the Ravage. But Blink Dagger done on Weaver? It is not. He's got Aether Lens instead. That's not too bad, but you need to play beside Leshrac. Easy to walk up into the high ground with the Diabolic Edict here.
Oh, we did go with the Aether Lens. Okay, I like this. I like that way more than the Blink Dagger.
I like the Blink Dagger a little bit more.
Edict on the high ground. Lumiere doing some good damage. No fortification available for the Dire, but they will back on out. Next Roshan, we're going to see the timer here in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and they're going to move back and do it and scout this one out, I feel. I expected them to commit a little bit harder for the tier 3 tower, but I guess they didn't want to risk it there. They sit on it for too long with Leshrac. The time lapse isn't going to move his position at all.
Oh man, a Cloak of Flames for the Lesh.
Nope. Another shawl.
He's still going to hold Nether Shawl. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of magic resistance this game. They could take Cloak of Flames on Earth Spirit, I suppose. What other items do we have here?
Yeah, I think he's... no, he's got an Ogre Axe being sent out.
Quickening Charm for the Weaver, though. That is quite a find.
An ephemeral masterpiece.
Your time lapse now to 17.6, and it's not even... I mean, it doesn't reduce in cooldown, but 0 mana cost at level 3. My goodness.
Yeah.
Smoke up here from Infinity. They're going to walk right into Excel. Alone is bloodlusted up on the backside. We'll see them. In comes a Stormhammer. Nice silence from Michael. Alone. He's got to get out of here. The Ravage connects. Burna with the BKB. The time lapse from Sacred. Able to get him back into the fight. The question is, can they stall this out long enough? No. The BKB from Burna is too much. The Spirit Vessel is there. He kicks him away. The damage from the Weaver, it's a lot, but there's no one else here. He's just going to keep refreshing these. Oh, the boulder just barely connect. Kicks him down.
Ended up losing Lumiere on the backside of that team fight, though. Just ran down by...
Tao, I guess?
Yeah. Tao, decent amount of damage done by Terrorize and Enchantress as well.
Ooh, big initiation here. This Ward Sentry still giving them a lot of vision to work with, and time lapse out from Sacred, taunted for the moment. He's doing a lot of damage from this Magnetized. Spirit Vessel comes out once again. He's just got to try and stall this out until his time lapse comes off again, but it's not going to be enough. Tao, 40 HP down to 14. He's going to survive, but you lose all 5 members of Infamous in the process.
Tao didn't end up going down there. That last remnant didn't end up
Did he not see that TP?
a bold move to stand his ground there.
At least we're not stuck in cords.
Did they not see these? Did they not see Tiny TPing in?
Maybe. I mean, I did. It was directly on top of where the Void Spirit was, though.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't notice it because of that.
I mean, Alone comes back in and somehow salvages what was a pretty rough fight, and now they get to go into Roche.
They take it pretty slowly without the... Well, slower than they should without the Weaver here, but... It is an Aghanim Shard. I imagine they'll take the Aghanim Shard on Lumiere here. It makes sieging so much easier.
You think so?
drop a
Over
couple-
Tiny this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite a pain in the ass. All right, they jump in. They're going to find the Tidehunter here. Pamplona on the backside, trying to just get away at this point. I don't think they have a lot of options. Toss back, sends Tidehunter in the middle of nowhere. A nice 3-man Terrorize on top of him, but Benjaz, he's fallen low. In comes the Sven, though. Finds the Aegis there onto Lumiere. You've lost the Tidehunter. The stun comes out, and Burna. He's dead with nothing in the tank, and Sacred continuing the chase here onto the Dark Willow. He's just going to take out to those dots, and Michael goes a little bit too far as Pamplona is going to find him.
Let's see, Lumiere trying to clear out the catapult here. Wants to run down the mid lane. They're not going to be able to stall this one out for Sven to come back up. They're definitely losing you tier 3, or potentially just a Rax here.
I mean, yeah, they have... I mean, even if he comes back, he has no God Strength or anything, right?
God Strength down for another 60 seconds here. BKB still on cooldown for a little bit as well. 27 second cooldown on BKB right now. Yeah.
Yeah, mid lane, Barracks, not long for this world. Lumiere and Alone will pick these up quick. I imagine they just go... All right, they don't want to stick around. They're just going to take one lane and back. An 11,000 gold lead now for the side of Infamous after that fight.
Still not bad. Continue to snowball off. Well, I'll just grab probably the bottom lane next. That's exactly where Lumiere is pushing out. And again, later this goes, I think the harder these team fights get. Sven hasn't really come online, and I think a lot of the time he's forced to like awkwardly defensively use his BKB. Not able to stand his ground with God Strength. I think it becomes even harder once the Shiva's Guard gets completed on Leshrac. At that point, I'm not sure how they take these team fights. Pamplona is actually going for a BKB right now as well, because there's so much magic.
Michael rolling up there will just find the Dark Willow, Chain Stun, and the Silence, and it's going to be just a Fire Blast. That's all that's needed to help finish him off, and Benjaz will dodge out the next boulder. Looks like they're not satisfied, though. Michael has had 0 chill this game. A Yule's coming through as well. He can kick him right back towards his team. That's exactly what he does. He hits the Ravage this time. Dust out onto the Weaver. He's dead. You baited yourself, son. And on the backside of the fight, you've also lost Excel. Going inside, though. Toss back into the stun. Sven goes down. Weaver could buy back time lapse in if necessary. The BKB comes out from Lyra. They take down Pamplona. Lumiere continuing the chase further into the base, wants to get more for this. 2 more buybacks. It's going to be the Sven. Lumiere needs some help. He's got the Bloodstone heal, trying to hold him inside the split earth, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to survive this one. He's gone just a little bit too far.
I know he's a down, but you forced 3 buybacks there, the biggest one being Sven. You get him again, you just end up winning the game. I thought the Weaver would buy back and time lapse in. Like, he would be an amazing save for the Leshrac in that team fight, but...
Ooh, that was close. Alone just barely blinking out there.
In fact, they're going to keep chasing him. Sexy
Yeah, they
Yogi's
got
out
a
for
tier
blood
1
here.
tower. The rest of the team's going to try and come in and help this. Avalanche goes off. The Cursed Crown AoE, though, stuns it up for the moment. Alone, the cleave damage, my God! You're in the wrong neighborhood, Infinity.
Oh my god.
I said late game, Tiny absolutely wrecks Sven, and that is why right there.
5,500 damage he ended up doing. Turned around in an instant, just blew these people up. There's no way to defend from this now. He's dead for 77 seconds. He's just going to hit this tower. Oh my god, look at the damage this does.
Yeah, that shard pickup, quite good.
Well, maybe they should have passed that to Tiny instead of the left track.
I think the less shard was good. It helped him get the mid racks, but
Yeah.
they're gonna go one to the other as Infamous, a 19k gold lead, 2 racks up without buyback on 2 cores. I don't think Infinity have many options here. This is looking like it might be all she wrote for the side of the Dire. I mean, incredible performance on Alone's Tiny this game. He only goes 8-4 and 13, but
Only.
yeah, it's like it's not a super high kill score game from either team, but like really well played. Hit some big fights. Lumiere's recovery on this Leshrac was definitely noteworthy. Like he had a terrible start to this game and somehow managed to find his way back in as Lumiere pops the BKB. Tiny just focusing on the throne here, but does he have the damage to do it in time? They are not done. There's gonna be the time lapse, the avalanche, the toss, the damage. Get out of here, he says, as Benjaz not gonna be able to survive either. The GG finally comes out, and Excel is gonna walk away from Pamplona. They get it out.
Throne drops before the game ends because of that GG call, and Infamous Graft is a little bit too strong, gave it over one. I think he let the Alone finish up his Blink Dagger way too quickly. It just absolutely destroyed the game of the Stark Willow and the Enchantress. Like we were talking about at the start, these incredibly frail heroes. I do like what they did with the draft this game. The Weaver was a little bit weird. I don't think he was as effective as they wanted him to be, but you had such an amazing performance on Alone, Michael, and Lumiere that it didn't really matter so much. I mean, Ogre Magi helped as well, but
Yeah, I mean, he just did so much work with the Vessel. Like you couldn't get away. Like he just would get a kill, get more Vessel charges, and keep throwing Vessels out onto like the Sven or the Void Spirit or the Enchanted Dark Willow in every fight. And that combined with the bugs, it ended up being a ton of damage. Like I just want to see how much damage did he end up doing with it. Yeah, 4,600 damage from the Vessel and 5,000 damage from the bugs, and it was just such a pain for these heroes to deal with. I mean, a great performance in game 1 here from Infamous.
yeah. Tao, not such a strong first game there. Unfortunately, he I feel like he just fell off at the start of the game. He never ended up finding any kills. He wanted to go Blade Mode, try to recover, ended up getting an Item Scepter instead, but it came out so late. He was really behind his timing. After the 10-minute mark, he didn't really accomplish too much for the next like 5, 6, 7 minutes. So that's just game number 1. Though hopefully he managed to bring it back in game number 2. Now he's probably getting a little bit tired. It is pretty late over there, and this is their 4th game in a row they now have to play.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like I saw the Sven come out super late in this draft, and I wasn't really sold on it. I think Sven is a good hero, but every time we've seen it be successful enough, I feel like it's always with one of these heroes that amplifies the Sven's game, right? Things like the Io or the Ogre, and without that, it did feel a little bit underwhelming here. Not necessarily a result of, Burna's skill, but just a draft potential issue here. But we got one last game here tonight, and we're going to go to a short break, everyone. So stay tuned. It's game 2 of Infinity versus Infamous. We'll see you after the break.